Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. If you're like me, you've just realized we only have about 9 days left to do your holiday shopping this year. Unless you're gift giving for a birthday in late June, then you have all the time in the world, and I'm not sure why you're watching this video specifically. But if you wait to the last second to do your shopping, I've done everything I can to make the process as easy as possible for you. We're going to be breaking down everything you can get within a 2-day window. That means Prime membership over on Amazon, and links will be in the top of this video description, along with the fact that I'm going to have them broken down into categories that you should pay attention to. From our medium games, no, that's not where we start, from our lightweight games that are $20 or under, medium games that range from $20 to $50, and heavy games that are $50 and above. You can go ahead and pick and choose based off timestamps down below what category you want to watch and what gift you're going to be getting and giving. My family said ducks won't do for the second time or third time in a row, so I needed this list as much as you did. Let's go ahead and start. Let's go nice and quick through everything we have here. You can do your deep dives if you want down over on BGG or over on Amazon, but for now, I'm just going to give you a blanket breakdown, just like you were talking to me in the street and you said, I don't know what to get for my family this year. What are some good suggestions? Let's start with non-game gifts, because we all have gamers in our life that already own all the games or don't need more games and won't request more games, and if you gave them more games, the odds are they wouldn't appreciate it anyway. I've got a list of things here that'll even make a that'll make a gamer who is getting a non-gamer gift smile. Starting with the best book I've read all year, we're going to talk about Red Rising. There's a board game alternative that could go explore the hobby a little bit deeper. It does make the game better if you've read the book. It's a sci-fi adventure book about rising up from the flames of an impressive culture. It is lovely, it is magnificent, and it's a whole series, so if you start them on book 1, you could keep regifting them books 2, 3, and 4 down the road or month by month. Swing down to poker chips. Now, the link I have down to Amazon below is one that I think looks nice. You should search for your own categories, but the core thing is going to be you want clay-weighted poker chips. These are going to be extra or bits and pieces that players can use during their games to upgrade the money system in any game. If they don't have metal coins, if they're using cardboard chips, or they're playing any sort of economic, gambling, stock market game, train game, poker chips are the perfect solution. The ones I have linked down below are $77, but they're just the ones that I would pick. You can go look and hunt for yourselves. Now, I also have a standard light, a stable light, a filming light. I don't know the thing to talk about. It's $125. It's going to be a newer LED light. This is going to be a stable or standard filming light. It's the video light that I use right here. It's what I use down in my basement to light up the space so that everyone can see exactly what it is we're playing. This is going to be my preferred solution to game lighting, and most people don't use or have these, right? You're just going to pop the switch on, plug it into the wall, hit it up against the ceiling, let it fill the entire room with a bright, vibrant, LED, clean, crisp light. I found a book for vintage board games, or on vintage board games, beautiful artwork, some interesting text. I haven't viewed it myself, but for $35, it's a good alternative to a board game. It looks compelling, it looks intriguing, and if I'm a big fan of this hobby, I might want to know what else has been made in the past. And also, there's a big goose on the front. Space Pen. Space Pen is going to be the best pens I have used ever, period. I love them. Now, there's various models. I chose one. It stands right around $28 to $30. These are going to be pens that have been designed to be able to write fluidly in any condition. Underwater, upside down, out of your pocket, middle of heat, through the dryer, whatever. These pens are absolutely fantastic. They have compressed air pocket in the back. They're one of the best discoveries that I've made by watching countless YouTube videos over the course of the last few years. Bowls, specifically olive wood bowls. I really like these bowls for keeping components during the course of a game. They're really nice table setting. They have a great design, lovely feel. They're nice and oiled and wooden, and then you can drop your components in the metal coins, some of those poker chips we were talking about, resource cubes, pass them around the table. It's a great solution to anyone that's looking for a gift for a gamer that's not a game. And finally, Probably one of my biggest recommendations here is going to be these nice quality whiskey glasses. Yes, I own a set of 6 myself for $25. These things are absolutely insane. Heavy glasses. They fit a nice big ice cube, and if you make any cocktails, or you have someone that lives or enjoys bringing the bar home while you play, these are going to be upgrades to anything they have in their collection. So, these are going to be the non-gamer gamer gifts. Non-game gamer gifts. Let's squeeze down here 2 small games. Super Mega Lucky Box, standing at $16. This is going to be a flip and write game where you're doing your very best to basically scratch off lottery tickets. It's a lot of fun, has compelling sort of point scoring that spreads from one point to another, and at $16, if I'm telling you it's fun, what else do you want to know? Love Letter, standing at $12, a perfect stocking stuffer. Do you like social deduction and trying to get a written card from one mistress to another, or one mister to another? This is going to be a game that's all about that. You get past a series of cards, and you're doing your best to socially deduce exactly who people are, who you can trust, and who's going to stab you in the back. Sushi Go. Do you like drafting games? We'll say no more. At $8, Sushi Go is going to be a game where you're passing cards around the table, doing your very best to pick what type of sushi you're going to lean into and score, and create that in a palette in front of you. Love sushi. Love spending less than $10. $8. And drafting is one of my favorite mechanics ever. Need I say more? Bang! The dice game. Sam Healy's, one of Sam Healy's top 10 of all time. This is going to be another social deduction style game where you're rolling dice and doing your very best to shoot the appropriate person. The outlaw wants to shoot the sheriff wants to shoot the outlaw, and then there's a whole series of other townsfolk that mix into the party. If you have a high player count, going to get 6 or 8 people together on Christmas Day and want something that makes people laugh out loud, bang, is going to be that game. The Crew standing at $11 is going to be a trick-taking game where you're doing your very best to math out and explore the vacuum of space by, well, playing cards strategically from your hand in a sequence or an order that allows you to accomplish the task. This is going to be a great cooperative puzzle, really solid at 2, but it can also expand upwards if you need it to. Fox in the Forest. This is going to be a trick-taking game, except this one's going to be head-to-head, where you're fighting against each other to play the best trick possible. Do you enjoy going head-to-head in a 2-player preferred game? Well, this one's going to be a game for you. Standing, again, I think I said this, at $12. 7 Wonders Duel. Another incredible 2-player game. If you like the idea of slowly developing a tableau in front of you that has escalating resources, gives you a lot of things to manage, and allows you to, well, perfectly determine and break down your opponent, 7 Wonders Duel is going to be an incredible experience, slightly on the heavier gamer side, but strategically only. It really is a puzzle that is worth getting to the table if you never have before. Point Salad. Do you like the idea of collecting as many points as possible, making a determination if a card's going to score for you or give you new victory point conditions? Point Salad is fantastic. Standing at $17, Point Salad is going to be high on this list, that if you don't own it or you haven't seen it on your friend's shelf, this is a great one to add to their collection. Easy to learn, fast to play, and really compelling. Cockroach Poker is going to be one of our favorite bluffing games of all time. Standing at $20, so skirting that line just slightly, this is going to be the one that transitions us to medium weight games. Cockroach Poker will be the best game night ending of your lifetime. This is a game where you're passing insects from one to another and bluffing all along the way, telling them, I have a cockroach, when you really have a scorpion, beetle, or fly. They then have to determine, do they look at the card and pass it on, lying themselves or telling the truth, or do they decide and call your bluff, giving you the card to add to your collection or keeping it for themselves. Medium games. We're going fast through this, right? That was the goal. Medium games. These are going to be the gamers that are somewhere in the $20 to $50 range, like your aunt, brother, or brand new nephew. These are going to be the gamers that you don't need to stick something in their stocking. Instead, you want to invest a little bit more in them and potentially have these games added to your collection so you can sit down and play with them yourselves. Or You know they're getting you some nice charcuterie, and you want to make sure you gift something back. Jaws of the Lion, standing at $32. This is going to be a cooperative adventure game where you're doing your very best to play cards strategically from your hand to take actions on a board and crawl through a dungeon, slaughtering whatever is in your way. This is going to be a game that is a campaign game that you'll want to sit down with 2 to 4 players to really dig into and commit to, but it is insanely accessible and a joy to play. Cartographers. Standing at $20, Cartographers is going to be one of the best flip and write games I have ever played. You're drawing a piece of art there in front of you, doing your very best to map out the landscape and scoring as many points as you can as you do so. Do you like artwork? Do you like drawing? Do you like feeling like you're on a slight adventure as you imagine the world imbued in front of you? Cartographers is going to be the game to get. War Chest. If you like chess, this is going to be a game that abstracts that idea, giving you your own asymmetric factions and minions that you can invest in, units that you can bring out onto the table, and a battle... Sorry, hard cut there, I sneezed. In a battlefield that you're exploring, that you're going after. This is going to be a absolutely fantastic head-to-head strategy game where you're doing your very best to place out pieces and maneuver them to take advantage of the weak spots in your opponent's forces. Do you like the idea of controlling an army? And more specifically, do you like the idea of expanding on chess? I think that's fair. Arnak, Lost Ruins of Arnak standing at War Chest at $39. Lost Ruins of Arnak standing at $48, hitting that edge right there. This is going to be a worker placement deck building game with a brand new expansion that makes it amazing. But if you've never played it before, this is going to be a game that you absolutely should try. It is a really, really good Euro-style puzzle, which means you have near-perfect information when you're applying the game, worker placement to different regions to gain resources, to convert those resources into points, movement on the track, or exploration in your deck. Your deck is going to be the thing that's controlling your actions on the table, and you're doing your very best to maximize your hand of cards and spread out and gain as many points as you can before the end of the game. Land vs. Sea. An incredible head-to-head 2-player game. You can go higher, but for our preference, 2 players is going to be the sweet spot. It's going to be a $30 game where you're doing your very best to open up and spread across the table. This is going to be a tile-laying game, matching up land and sea regions, closing off your opponents, and scoring every time you close a specific section. This plays really fast, learns very quick, and has a lot of modules that expand the play experience and increase scoring variability, giving you a lot of time to sit, think, and rattle your brains. Nidavellir, standing at $43. Nidavellir is going to be a coin-building game, a hand-building game, a really, really interesting game where you're doing your very best to spend your resources, your coins, on either upgrading your coins or buying cards that get added to your row that score points for you. And over the course of the game, you're going to have to continually upgrade the value of your money, invest it, and bring those coins back, or spend that coin, whatever that coin is worth, on different character cards. You have to make the decision, and it's a really compelling decision, between when you change your coin in for a higher value or when you spend it on cards that score, give you abilities, or unlock special conditions. Nidavellir is lovely, and it's probably a game that your friends don't have. A little bit more abstracted, and for a while there was a little bit harder to find. Barren Park. Do you like polyomino pieces, meaning the Tetris style, play down into a grid, try to squeeze in as many as you can and score based off of adjacency where you place them and whatever alternative conditions you have on the game table? Barren Park is going to be that for you. It is a lovely polyomino style placement game that I highly recommend. Skull is going to be a bluffing style game where you're going to be playing down either a flower or a skull, and the people go around the table and they determine how many they think they can flip, and then once that has been determined, one person has control of it, and they start flipping everyone else's flowers or skulls. If they catch a skull, they take damage. If they get all flowers, they flip their token over, and they're one step closer to winning. At $21, this is a steal and an amazing game to add to your collection. Ganshan Clever, standing at $20. This is going to be a dice rolling game where you're adding numbers into a grid that sequence pop off and explode other numbers. It's like popcorn in a bucket, and if you like math puzzles or escalating success, this game is amazing. If you like dice rolling, this is going to be a fantastic dive into the dice rolling genre, the roll and write style of games. Santorini, standing at $30. Santorini is going to be an abstract puzzle where you're doing your very best to climb to the tallest tower possible. This game is absolutely lovely. It's a abstract head-to-head two-player game with a puzzle that is well worth exploring. $30 if you wanted to pick up Santorini. King Domino. It's going to be a $20 tile-laying game trying to collect and spread as many regions as possible, scoring points for the regions that you've spread out, but the higher value regions you take, the slower you'll go on the alternative turn. It's a really, really nice tile-laying game with some expansions that I say improve it, so you have room to grow. Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition for $28 if you want a solo game. This game is fantastic, and if you want a game that gives you the feeling of Terraforming Mars in a tied down, like buttoned up little version, Ares Expedition is going to be a great game to add to your collection. This is going to be a game that's all about getting production chains on the table. You're building a tableau of cards that start generating piles and piles of resources and score you, hopefully by the end of the game, a series of victory points along with that. Calico. Do you like tile-laying games and a puzzle you can't perfectly solve? Calico is going to be that game for you. You draw some tokens from the bag, determine which one you want to keep, and you add them to your adorable little quilt full of cats and buttons. This game is frustrating at times, but absolutely lovely if you like a abstract quilt-laying, tile-laying puzzle. Viticulture. Do you enjoy drinking wine while you play games? Well, it'll be the perfect game to add to your collection. Standing at $46, Viticulture is going to be a worker placement game, a true Euro in this genre. It is a lovely, lovely puzzle, and if someone hasn't played it, I would not think twice before either buying it for them or telling them they needed to pick it up. Seven Wonders is going to take that Seven Wonders dual model. We're going to expand it into higher player counts. There's a brand new version that just got printed. It is all about tableau building, generating resources, and slowly starting to escalate until you can build the, well, Seven Wonders of the world. And there we have it. For medium games, that's going to be our list. Let's swing into the heavy games that we have. This is going to be $50 and over for those people that you just absolutely love too much, or those gaming groups where, honestly, their collection is your collection, so anything you invest in them, you're investing in yourself. Giant games available on Amazon. Star Wars Rebellion standing at $98. This is going to be a head-to-head two-player, heavily strategic, overwhelmingly thematic game where you're doing your very best to either work as the Rebellion or I forget what Darth Vader's squadron was called. The Rebellion or the Alliance, something like that. You're doing your very best to take over the galaxy or avoid capture and avoid them discovering your rebel base. A little bit of hidden movement in there, a lot of strategic defenses, and some really intriguing card play make Star Wars Rebellion the top on most or many gamers' lists. Brass Birmingham is going to be an incredible game at $70. It's going to be a heavy Euro-style game, doing your very best to create and establish production lines, generating coal, steel, alcohol, I think beer specifically, in modern-day Europe, Birmingham, historic Birmingham, back when the industry was alive and functioning. This Euro game is going to be one that, again, people absolutely adore. It justifies the price tag, and I think that if you haven't played it, this is one that you may absolutely love. Twilight Imperium standing at $120. Twilight Imperium is going to be one of the heaviest. If you can't tell, I'm trying to turn off my phone because I have people texting me. Twilight Imperium is going to be one of the heaviest 4X experience that exists. What's a 4X experience? Well, explore, exploit, exterminate, and Endeavor? No, that's not one of them. This is going to be a game that's about space exploration. You're filtering out into the far galaxies, gaining resources, conquering distant lands, taking control of different planets, and fighting off or defending your homeland from everyone that's invading. This is a 6 to 8 hour game. It is one of the best, if not the best, in the genre, but if you don't have time for it, maybe your friend should own it instead of you. Scythe standing at $61. This is going to be a game that is Euro-esque in nature. You're going to be taking one of 4 different varied actions that escalate depending on how the game is going for you, using resources to convert those resources into men that are on the board that slowly start spreading and conquering. There's a fog of war, a fear of war that exists in this game, as if you're playing in Soviet-era Cold War with steampunk technology. The aesthetic's incredible. The gameplay's fascinating if you like a more strategic, threatening game, as opposed to an all-out brawl war-style game, and you're doing your very best throughout the course of the game to exploit resources that you have, go up various tracks, either popularity to get as popular as possible, get as much money as you can, make it to the factory in the center to increase your technology, expand your war profiteering, and slowly score victory points to drive endgame. Spirit Island standing at $80, which may be overpriced. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know the Amazon market here. Spirit Island is going to be an incredible solo or multiplayer puzzle where we're doing your very best to defend an island from the invading European forces or a variety of different colonial forces. The Han are going to be utilizing the power of the spirits to ward off. This is going to be a hand utilizing a not quite deck building but a hand management game where you have a lot of resources in your hand. You're playing those cards to take advantage of the power that you have, and as you play or sequence through the game, you'll start getting more powerful cards and you'll start getting more power that you can use. Lovely game. Many people love it, myself included. Highly recommended. Standing for $100 is going to be Gloomhaven, this expansion on Jaws of the Lion. If you already know that you're going to love a big dungeon adventure, you have 2 to 4 players that can dive into it with you, and you're not scared of giant big boxes with a lot of cardboard components, Gloomhaven is going to be the best rated, highest rated game on BGG of all time, period. And finally, we've got 2 more recommendations. Swing down to Everdell, which is going to be a tableau worker placement game. Amazing game, beautiful artwork. Do you have people that love cute animals in your life? Well, this is going to be the game that they are attracted to. And finally, Go, standing at $65. A weird game that I bet your gaming friends don't have, but it's one that I've wanted to try for a long time. If they like those historic puzzles, chess, checkers, a lot of those Othello-style things, Go is one of the most ancient games of all time. Still played competitively all throughout Asia. You're going to be playing down black and white chits, doing your very best to cordon off and close off different regions, deciding where you engage in a tactical battle for control across the course of the game. It's one that I know I would be grateful for if anyone gifted it to me. So, there we have it. Follow the link down below to go check out all these products and let me know what you end up ordering. Hopefully this wasn't too weird or chaotic. My goal was to give you as much information as possible on what's available over on Amazon.